Hey fishers, we're finishing up our day out here on the Duck River. So far I've got in 2 little bass and Julian caught in a walleye. Good day out here. I love this river. This river is really special for me. It was a couple of years ago on this very same river that I caught my first fish. It was an accident. Up till that point I'd never really been fishing before, never really caught a fish. I'd been fishing a few times, but I never really caught a fish. All I really knew how to do was how to buy expensive, shiny lures.
What's that, Brett?
I don't know, but I bet it catches fish.
And get them stuck in trees, which I was really good at. And I'm still good at. So I'm hanging out with these guys and they find out that I'd never caught a fish before. They let me have it.
Hey, Brad, you couldn't catch a fish in the fish market.
The jokes start.
Because everybody needs a guy that can catch the small fish.
They haven't stopped.
But I like to think of it as Brad's hook, line, and stinkers.
So they bring me out here on the river to teach me how to fish, or as I like to call it, spend the day making fun of me. We rent a couple canoes, we get out here on the water, we start drifting, people start dropping lines in the water. I put a little white grub on a spinnerbait and I drop it in the water, and immediately the same thing that always used to happen happened. I get stuck on a rock. So I say to the guy in the back of the canoe, I say, "Look, I'm stuck already." He says, "You're not stuck, you got a fish." I look up at the rod tip, it's bent all the way to the water. The thing's pulling, it's going crazy. I'm like, "What do I do?" He said, "Reel it in." So I start reeling like crazy. I'm about to tip the canoe. After a little bit of a fight, I pull in this nice sized walleye. It was an amazing experience. And by the time the day was over, I caught 2 more fish. It was 2 little bass. And so I was hooked on fishing from that day forward. Up until that day, my life pretty much centered around a bag of potato chips and football games. Coming out here with these guys was a little bit out of my comfort zone. But all at once, I caught this beautiful fish, and it kind of changed a lot about my life. So we thought we'd come out here today, share a little bit of this beautiful river, and just kind of talk about the journey of fishing. So I would say that the most important thing is to get up, get out, and get on the water. If your life centers around a bag of potato chips and football games.
Daddy, can you play dollies with me?
I've said this before and I'll say it again. God has a mission for you. It wasn't for football, it wasn't for potato chips, and it wasn't for fishing for bass. God sent you to be a fisher of men.
We are fishers of men. We are challenging men to grow in holiness through spiritual formation, service, prayer, and brotherhood. The world needs good men with good hearts to lead the world back to holiness. God is calling you to be that man. Men, we are challenging you. Change your heart. Change the world. Be a fisher of men.